Ortre's a guy that we're really excited about. He's on campus right now. Had the ankle injury, probably was a little bit more severe than we had anticipated. Was non-contact for the first probably 10 practices, but really came on those last 5. You know, we're really excited about it. He's going to play next year. How much, we'll see how his development through the summer continues to move forward, but I'm excited he's a Gamecock. I can assure you of that.
Another local guy, like you can talk about Javon Kinlaw, what you're kind of expecting out of him.
Javon's on campus right now. The biggest thing was Javon is just getting in shape, and that's the most important thing. Extremely proud of him. Finished with over a 3.0 GPA at Jones Junior College. Really applied himself to get to this point. And now that he's on campus, he needs to blend in with our football team, and certainly he's doing it in the process of doing that right now. But really proud of him.
I know everybody's been asking you all the time just what the progression that you've seen from Jake in the spring and how he's kind of matured and gotten into the offense.
Well, I think as much as anything, the game starts to slow down for you at that position. People don't realize how difficult it is to play as a freshman, much less a high school senior. And he did a phenomenal job, and he's got really good people around him. He understands that, but I think his taking the next step is being able to get us out of a bad run game, which he can do now, change the protection, get us out of a better pass situation, and all of those things he continues to make strides.
Biggest question mark you're looking to kind of solve in this period in between now and before you guys come to camp?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just getting in great physical and mental condition. We can meet with our guys now by NCAA rules over the summer. They got to get in great condition. We got to start fast with a really good NC State team. We've got some questions to be answered on defense. We have a lot of unknowns, whether it's someone starting at a position, whether somebody's providing depth, or playing a lot of snaps. So we have some unknowns defensively we've got to get answered.
Is that a good thing that you have all that competition, or is it just more of kind of a question mark that you're not really sure who's going to go where?
You'd rather be a little more of the known factor coming out of spring ball, and we have that on offense, and I still feel like we have good competition on the offensive side of the ball, but we feel pretty good about our skill positions and who can help us. And will there be some newcomers help us? Sure, I hope so. That means they're probably really good players and they're mature enough to play as freshmen, so that's exciting. But defensively, the unknowns is concerning.
Kind of want to ask you a little bit off the beaten path kind of question. What was it like for you guys as a staff just watching Frank and Don go on the run that they did this past spring?
Well, I think as much as anything to see where Frank and Don took over their programs, very similar to the 3-9 situation that we inherited. And they've built their programs that have a great culture and character around them. And when you lose a lane of coach before the NCAA tournament, and you win, and even as a coach, I'm sitting there thinking, man, she's really good. This is going to be rough. And they win the national championship. That's because of culture and character within your program. When you lose the first round of the SEC tournament to Alabama, and it's doomsday in the Gamecock Nation, and you're able to make a run to the Final Four, that's culture and character in your program. So that's what we're working to build. It starts with a solid foundation.
Well, punt return was an issue at times last year. How nice is it to know that you have guys like Shi Smith and Jemias coming in that excelled at that?
Absolutely. Chris Lamont really late in the year did a really nice job of fielding the ball, which was an issue, and had the big return in the bowl game. But we feel good about all 3 of those guys being able to do that, no doubt. We need that. We create a lot of issues for ourselves as far as I was concerned.
There's been a little chatter out in Auburn that maybe they would be, I guess, for moving to the East, or maybe reshuffling some of the division alignment stuff. Just your thoughts in general on that, or do you think everything's fine out of this?
That decision's not being made by me, I can assure you of that.
Well, if you were asked,
if I was asked,
yeah.
Whatever's best for our leagues, the way I look at it, whether we're expanding or whether we're changing divisions, whatever they want to do, I'm for. As far as that's concerned, I have no issue or problem either way Commissioner Sankey wanted to do it.
Just get a chance to kind of get out across the state now and kind of see some fans. You probably won't, obviously don't get a chance to do that much during the regular season, but now in the off season, it's kind of cool to see some of the fans out.
Well, it's awesome. We've got a great fan base. I've always said it's the most loyal fan base that I've been around as far as their support of us. We're 2-4, and it's as positive as you can imagine for our football team. Our football team sees that, and our staff sees that, and that's really important to see that. It's been awesome. My wife Carol's going to be here tonight, and she wants to be at these things to be a part of the Gamecock Nation, and it's been extremely positive for us, and we really appreciate it.
What would you say the most unique question is that you've gotten on this little tour?
There's been several, but I won't recant all of them, I can assure you of that.
Is Eldridge Thompson 100% coming in? I know he had the shoulder.
Yeah, he's been cleared. I mean, he's been cleared. He had the shoulder. He did a really nice job of rehabbing it when he was in Houston. But you know, he's been cleared to do everything. You know, he would be cleared for contact right now, but that's not till August. So, but he'll be ready to go in August. But he's been cleared for full lifting.
But do y'all like him a lot athletically as a guy who
Absolutely.
can maybe help?
He's a guy that can really play in space, and you know, he needs to play. We only had 3 scholarship guys come out of spring, and he's going to have to contribute. And those young guys better get ready. We told him in the recruiting process we weren't lying. They're going to have to play.
Can you just talk real quick about just recruiting in the state? I know you can't talk about individual recruits, but just getting the guys, the important guys in state to come to Carolina, and how important that is, because obviously there's a ton of talent in the state that maybe sometimes gets overlooked.
There's no question. I think that our state is vastly underrated as far as the talent is concerned. We signed 11 players last year. All 11 guys we had in camp, all 11 guys we're really excited about having on our campus and contributing to our football team. So this area is critical. You know, Ortre Smith was a huge player for us. Tayshia's mom played at another school in our state, and to get him to come to South Carolina was a great job by our staff, and extremely excited about him. Zach Bailey from Somerville is one of the best offensive linemen in the SEC. Him moving to right tackle, I think is going to be a really good move for us. And but there's a bunch of good players every year from this area coming out, and we've got to do a great job, not just in our state, but in the Charleston area.
Do you see, like, whenever you have guys like Jake and other guys that are starting young, is that a feather in your cap sometimes when you are recruiting, telling these kids that, you know what, you got a chance to play right away?
Well, I think our track record speaks for itself wherever we've been, that if you're the best at your position, you'll start regardless of what class you are, regardless of where you're from. None of that matters. It's about playing the best players, and that's what we're going to do. And anybody that does their research on us, they're going to see that, and they understand that. And they understand if they're good enough, they'll play, and if they're the best, they'll start.